Hello, and welcome to Holistic Connections, Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. Today we have Casey with us, and I want to thank you so much for being on. And I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and share what you do in the holistic healing world, please.
Sure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. So I, for me, it's a lifestyle.
Mhm.
So I like to take pieces from different cultures, backgrounds, and medicines and kind of create my path with that. Currently, right now, I am working at Kripalu. It's a super awesome, it's kind of famous institute for yoga, but
Can you
they
spell
have,
it, please?
sure,
Sorry to
it's
introduce, sorry to interrupt you. I want to write that down.
Kripalu.
ALU. Okay. All right, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, it's super well known. It's really huge, and there are everything from workshops to healing modalities to getting trained in things. And one of the things that is super huge at Kripalu is the Ayurvedic medicine. This is something I've always been interested in, but since working at Kripalu has really become more prominent in my life. Recently, I got trained in Shirodhara, which is a steady stream of oil being poured on your third eye.
Oh, I've heard of that before, but I never knew what it was called. I've seen pictures of that and I've heard about, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I didn't
awesome.
what it would be like until I
Yeah,
experienced it, and I hadn't thought that it would be so intense and so magical. But it really is a super healing experience for the person. You just kind of just go into another world there. So that was my first training with Ayurvedic, but it's a whole system. So depending on your body's fire, air, water, kind of what makes you you. Are you a fiery person? Are you kind of airy fairy all over the place? Depending on that, you can get a life coach. And it also is with the food. So food is medicine. And this is an ancient Indian practice from thousands of years ago. So this is one of the oldest healing medicines of the world.
yeah,
So the whole entire kitchen is also based around this modality
yeah.
that you can read about what the food is good for. If you're very fiery, you might want to steer clear of certain things. And they call it the kapha, pitta, uh, vita, or
Okay.
is it vata? Yeah, vata.
Vata.
So depending on those, you will create your food as medicine for your body. And a lot of oils are used in this as well. So you can get different practices from the Ayurvedic. Another thing that I've gone into is the energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it with massage therapy and yoga teacher. So those
Okay.
were kind of the things that I came into it with,
Mm-hmm.
and recently have gone into energy healing as well. I was a little not skeptical, but I could be a little bit apprehensive with certain things that become off new agey.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't.
good to have a little skepticism, and then it helps you look at it from a different mindset than being all gung ho and all for something new right off the bat. It's good to have a little, and that's kind of why I'm doing this is to educate people on things, that they may not have ever heard of before, or they might be a little bit skeptical about, and to sort of just give people a little education on holistic healing and different practices and modalities. So yeah, so go ahead.
So should absolutely dive in.
Yeah.
Absolutely dive in, but find what resonates with you and leave the rest.
Yeah.
So and the new agey stuff sometimes can rub people a little bit the wrong way.
Hmm.
So I did have some skepticism with the energy healing, although I did feel my own kind of connection to that and I wanted to discover it. And so far, what I have discovered has been super genuine, super real, super go at your own pace. So it wasn't pushy at all.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
it's kind of based on a polarity.
Hmm.
The polarity, it's basically seeing the body as a battery with
Mm.
positive and negative kind of give and take, masculine, feminine, the duality.
Yeah.
Basically, we are beings of duality. So you work with the energy centers of the body of the polarity. Another one is chakras, which is more well
Hmm.
known. So you're working with the energy chakras, and there's so many books about that. So I don't
Right.
need to.
A lot of information. That's kind of one of the first things that people hear about or know about when they're looking into anything kind of not as traditional or, Western medicine or Western types of healing. That's one of the first things a lot of people hear about. And yeah, so yeah.
And people will
Lots of
have all
information.
experiences. So I'll do massage therapy, and that's the same. People will have all sorts of experiences.
Yeah.
All is more of a physical, moving lymph, moving blood,
Mhm.
moving energies around, moving the blood around in the body for massage. People can still feel energetic movement and will have all sorts of emotional releases, um, could have spiritual experiences. So there's also a modality that brings the massage and the energy healing together. So
Mhm.
that's a new one that we just created at Kripalu. I'm super
Oh,
excited
nice.
that I'm on the front line of that one.
Nice.
So it allows you, the energy practitioner or massage practitioner, to do what we're already doing while we're massaging, but actually with permission to stop and take a moment to
Mm.
feel the energetic body of the person and bring in cleansing energy, channeling it. So not using your energy per se,
Yeah.
but calling it in from the earth, the atmosphere, the universe, and things like that.
So that sounds very much like Reiki to me. Is it something similar to Reiki or is it completely different?
I'm not actually I'm not actually trained in Reiki
Okay.
specific. It's different. Yeah,
Okay.
it's yep.
Okay. So it sounds like you also are working, there's a lot of different types of healings and methods that you use that you particularly use for yourself and for others. So it sounds like a lot of things can be integrated together and work well together. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, that's it's a goal of mine to find balance.
Yeah.
We all live in this super chaotic world. It can be really hard to put yourself first, whether it comes to nutrition, the thoughts we have about ourselves,
Mhm.
mental health
Yeah.
and the things that we do in our life, our exercise. So it can be tough.
Yeah.
So it's been a long-term goal of mine to create a space in my life and others where I can have each portion of my life be healthy.
Hmm.
So I brought in herbology in
Hmm.
of tea making. So I also do
Yeah.
workshops. And I love it. I love bringing these to the world. People just get so, so excited, especially when you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
So a it's a herbology, but it's the tea workshop. So it brings in
Okay.
people who aren't necessarily in the holistic world, who just think, oh, tea, I want to make tea.
Right, right. I love tea. Yeah.
Like a tea mix class, but it's all different herbs and a
Nice.
lot of things that you wouldn't really even expect to to use in tea, such as cayenne pepper.
Uh-huh.
So that's a big one that people have been really impressed by. So this is kind of like coming in from the nutrition world, what we put into our bodies as food. So that workshop specifically has been really, really great for people who, like I said, want to make tea and don't really understand. But then the next thing they're saying is, what? How can I learn more?
Yeah.
Where can I go to buy this? Where can I
Nice.
find this? What more can you do or we do? So then
Nice.
there's that. Then there's and I also do like juicing. So
Oh, yeah.
nutrition world and finding that balance. Juicing fresh fruits and vegetables is a
Hmm.
super, super great, quick way to get delicious, nutrients into your body in like boom, boom, boom.
And fresh too. I mean, there's all kinds of supplements out there that claim to give you the same nutrients as like fruits and vegetables, but they're little powders.
Promise you right now, if you were to juice, you would feel incredible. So
Hmm.
it's super worth it.
Yeah.
So then there's the metaphysical side of things,
Hmm.
where you can find things to kind of help you with your spiritual side, your mental health, or you can just kind of do your own things. So we also have meditation classes. These I don't teach, but I join in regularly.
Yeah.
One of the things I do offer is cacao workshops.
Hmm.
So if you haven't heard of that, it's actually the chocolate bean,
Right.
not to be confused with store-bought chocolate, which is
Right.
a separation of the powder and butter, and they take the powder and they mix it with additives and GMOs, addictive chemicals, milks and sugars. The actual bean itself has butter in it. So
Mm.
it's super rich and super delicious when it's processed fully, or processed as little as possible. But, you know,
Right.
I like to add some sweetness.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this up as part of the spiritual side is because it is seen as a plant medicine.
Hmm.
And plant medicines such as cacao, ayahuasca, wachuma are all ancestral cultural plants that can connect you with the divine.
Yeah.
And these are seen across South America. These are ancient originated plant
Yeah.
medicine from
Everywhere
Meso.
but the US.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't originate here. You can find it here now. But so anyway, in these workshops, it's similar to the tea where it's presented as more of a chocolate making.
Hmm.
And once people are coming in, I present them with the knowledge and the
Yeah.
information of what these ancient cultures have used it for. And we all have cacao. People are just it brings you to a level of it's euphoric.
Yeah.
It it kind of awakens your feminine energy. It connects you with yourself, with others, with the divine. It's truly a remarkable plant. It really is.
Nice. So
And
are you teaching these workshops in person or are they online or both?
so the cacao and the tea are in person.
Okay.
I've been doing that for a while, at a different resort. So Kripalu is more known for the metaphysical,
Okay.
whereas when I'm doing the workshops with the tea and the cacao, it's at a regular Wyndham.
Okay.
So it's it's the clientele is the demographic of people is more just retired people or families
Mm,
on vacation and stuff. But
okay.
at Kripalu, we have more yogis and
Yeah.
adventurous souls, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how did you first so you mentioned in the beginning that it's more of a lifestyle and others have mentioned that too. So I don't think that you can really teach and help others without it being part of your own lifestyle or either is or has been. So, how did you first become interested in doing this kind of work or learning about this, all of these different things that you're doing to help others? How did you first become interested?
Yeah, I have a pretty unique backstory with that. I went to a global college, so
Okay.
every semester is abroad. So you're spending six
Mhm.
months in this country, 6 months in that country,
Nice.
studying everything from culture to religion to ecology, erosion, and culture. And my focus throughout that college, so we had independent studies each
Hmm.
semester. My focus was always the medicinal world, Eastern
Okay.
medicine.
Yeah.
And my final semester was in Peru. I had hoped and dreamed my whole life to go to Peru, to go to
Yeah.
the jungle. It was always a long-term dream of mine.
Yeah.
And my thesis was, how can the Western world benefit from Eastern medicine? So to kind of put that into perspective, I felt like not to fully replace the way we do things, but more of a preventative
Hmm.
health, which is basically what you'll find in many other
Yeah,
cultures. And in
right.
Peru specifically, they call it the lungs of the earth. And
Mm.
so many of our pharmaceuticals originate from their plants.
Hmm.
They also have the plant medicines there as well. So I traveled through the Andes and the cloud forests and the mountains and the deep jungle, and I lived amongst tribes, different
Nice.
tribes. It
Wow.
was everything I dreamed of and more. And these people, I mean, it's a third world country, but they will take you into their home. They will give you their bed. They will feed you and they won't ask for anything. It's just
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
how in America. But I specifically wanted to create a plant catalog.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I created this extensive plant catalog with the names in Spanish and Quechua, which is their native tongue, Quechua. And so I had the Andes Mountains, which is more of like a not so much desert, but it can be more deserty seen as, but mountainous, and the cloud forest and the jungle. So I traveled across Peru and made this plant catalog. And there are just countless really incredible things that you would never think. Sangre de grado is blood of the dragon. It's
Yeah.
a tree that if you slash it, blood shoots out. And you have to get it at night for it don't dry up
Wow.
in the sun. But this incredible liquid, just deep red as blood,
Hmm.
comes out and you can use it to heal ulcers. It can be used actually as like a almost like a clotting mechanism on the outside of a wound.
Hmm.
So many benefits. Things like
Wow.
so there was one I forget the name. I think it was but it looked like marshmallow. So when you
Okay.
cut the tree, marshmallow came in and it tasted like marshmallow. So, and then there's the Vicks. So a plant you break and it smells like Vicks. Just these incredible healing plants.
So amazing.
That's kind of how I got catapulted
Yeah.
into this holistic world, like
Hmm.
no doubt. And there's also the plant medicines that they use more in their mystical culture, like I explained, ayahuasca.
Hmm.
In school, and I even got to study ayahuasca,
Wow.
which if people don't know, it's a psychotropic plant,
Yeah.
and you have the shamans who
Hmm.
administer this brew. It comes from a vine.
Hmm.
Drink it, and you go on a spiritual journey.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they've used that for thousands of years
Yeah. Yeah.
to actually study that, which was really
Amazing.
incredible.
Yeah, because there's so much talk about it now here recently. And I'm a hypnotherapist. So a lot of in the hypnotherapy world, looking to help people through altered states or different states of consciousness. And so there's a lot of talk around ayahuasca and plant medicines. And so it's becoming more and more also like in the recovery world, people looking for ways to help them through recovery. So, so yeah, that's so amazing. Most people that talk about it have not really studied other than maybe having an experience themselves. So that's so awesome to know that you have actually studied that. Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
just like a buzzword kind of a thing, or a hot topic right now.
I thought I was going to be more interested in doing more ayahuasca when I was there,
Yeah.
but I did get to try it and I did get to sit
Hmm.
in ceremony, but I didn't experience anything.
You just
Everyone
never know.
the shaman had said, if you don't experience anything, you're not meant to and you don't need to. So I took it more of that. I was there to just study, just
Mhm.
be there and feel the love of everything without needing to really, get so much in return.
Yeah, you were already having a spiritual experience just by all that you were doing. Yeah.
Exactly. I did get to do chuma as well,
Hmm.
which is known as San Pedro. San Pedro, yeah.
Hmm.
That I did have a nice awesome experience with where I was in other states of
Oh,
consciousness.
okay.
But most of my travel there was not with psychotropic plants.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly with the magic plant herbs
Yeah.
of healing.
Yeah. Nice. So, what advice would you give somebody that is looking to change their lifestyle to more holistic ways that maybe have never heard of any of this before and they're just becoming interested in living healthier and looking into a more holistic lifestyle? What advice would you give somebody like that?
I get that a lot, people
Okay.
asking me for advice. I think a big thing is it can be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who say they know it best or to buy their this and to follow their that, and their way is the way. And I think that that can be discouraging.
Yeah.
I think people look within yourself and go slow. If there's
Yeah.
one thing that might seem really simple
Yeah.
or silly, but you'd be surprised how many people don't start their day off with a cup of water.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my mom this too. She'll start her day off with a very dehydrating coffee.
Right.
Mom, start with water. And just pushing to start with water. And you'd be surprised how much different you feel when
Yeah.
you drink a cup of water in the morning. It hydrates you, it allows your neurons to fire up, it
Mhm.
gets you ready for the day. You feel different
Yeah.
when you sip a cup of water. So I would say that, and also commit to yourself. This is a
Mm.
healthy for yourself with self-love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do it for yourself, commit to yourself, love yourself, and just slowly move in the direction of a healthier life
Yeah.
and find balance,
Yeah.
find a here, spend some time working on your nutrition
Hmm.
out of love, not out of a diet or that
Or those
you're
those numbers on the scale or your clothes, right?
exactly out of self-love, you
Hmm.
know, maybe focus on after that, focus on another side of things, your fitness,
Yeah.
maybe look into that or meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is a super powerful practice that can be a little bit hard at first. People get discouraged because at first
Yeah.
their minds won't stop and it actually doesn't feel that enjoyable at first, but little by little it really does get better. You
Yeah.
train your mind, you train your thoughts to slow down and move away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that people give up pretty quickly. They try it a couple times and they just can't quiet their mind or they think they're not doing it right and they just give up. Yeah, it's definitely, I think with all of these things, it's definitely, go slow as you mentioned. But those are some really great tips that are just really easy to do and to integrate slowly. Drinking water first thing in the morning. Look at your diet. Maybe try to integrate some meditation, integrate self-love into your life and look into those types of things. Yeah, all of those are some really great starting points, I think, for
It to
just
yourself.
getting into a holistic lifestyle and taking better care of yourself overall and that balance. That's so important. So I love that. So, do you have anything new that you're going to be doing that's coming up on the horizon that you can talk about?
So, yes, this is exciting for me. It's not out there yet, it's not public yet, but I have a business that I'm working on, and it's going to be a location. And this location is going to be a sanctuary.
Oh, nice.
And specifically, it will have a hot springs. Where I live, we don't have natural geothermal energy, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm looking at locations, but the idea of going to really just a place of bliss,
Yeah.
not, oh, I have to go be healthy and it's like not fun, but that's super, super fun. So it's a spa, a hot springs, a glorious space to Airbnb kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Something
nice.
like grid oasis of sorts.
Yeah.
And be the Ayurvedic principles
Hmm.
kind of locked into that. So some Himalayan salt,
Hmm.
maybe a Himalayan salt cave I'm looking at.
Mm.
You can fit in and infused waters with minerals,
Yeah.
mineral water infused in these tubs, and you can soak. And then there'll be more of a regular spa kind of aspect to it as
Right.
well. But that is what I'm working on. This is my life's work.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So, where is the best place for people to reach you if they want to learn more or get in contact with you?
Sure. My personal Instagram is blessed.earths with an S at the
Okay.
end. And I totally welcome people to get in contact with me, ask questions, or collaborate,
Yeah.
share information, anything holistic. I love, love, love to talk about and be part of.
Yeah. Great. Great. Is there anything else that you want to share or make sure that people know before we go?
I would just say, don't forget your spiritual side as well.
Mm,
Underestimate just how many illnesses and sicknesses are actually rooted in a spiritual way. I wouldn't have believed it until I discovered it myself.
yeah.
So I would say just keep that in mind
Yeah.
as
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. We could talk forever on all of this, and we could have more episodes, and maybe we will circle back when you're getting closer to your goal there, and and have another one of these, and you can talk all about that. I'm excited to watch you grow. I will be watching your Instagram. And thank you so, so much for coming on and sharing of yourself and sharing all that you do with the world. So thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm
You're so
super
welcome.